Time is life's most valuable currency. We are all given the same 24 hours in a day, whether you are a billionaire, a student, a farmer, or a factory worker. The rich cannot buy more time, and the poor cannot beg for extra time. Once it is gone forever. You can lose all your money, your business can collapse, your job can be taken away, and yet you may rebuild it again. But if you lose time, there is no way to recover it. That is why I often say time is far more precious than money. When I was younger, I wasted many hours chasing after opportunities that looked shiny but were not right for me. I thought I was being smart, but in the end, I realized those hours never came back. This was the first painful lesson. Every single minute is an investment, whether you realize it or not. Some people invest in complaining, in blaming others, in staying in comfort zones. The return on that investment is regret. Others invest in learning, in trying new things, in building trust with people. The return on that investment is growth. Think about it like this. If you had only $100 in your pocket, you would spend it carefully. You would think twice before buying something. But why, when it comes to time, do people spend it so carelessly? Hours disappear into scrolling, gossiping, or worrying about things that don't even happen. We forget that time is more valuable than money because money can be multiplied, but time only subtracts. Every day we are withdrawing from an account that never refills. If you ask me what the greatest wealth is, I would not say Alibaba's success or the billions in revenue. I would say it is how I chose to spend my time, building something meaningful with my friends, with my colleagues, with people who believed in a dream. The moments of struggle, the moments of laughter, even the moments of tears, these are the treasures of my life. Money did not buy them. My decision on where to spend time created them. So remember, the way you spend your time today is shaping the story of your tomorrow. If you waste today, you steal from your future. If you invest today, you gift yourself a better tomorrow. That is why time is not just valuable. It is. The power of choice in time is something we often underestimate. Every morning when we wake up, we are given a gift, a blank page of 24 hours. What we write on that page is our decision. Some people choose to fill it with small distractions, endless entertainment, or meaningless tasks. Others choose to fill it with learning, building, connecting, or dreaming. The quality of your life tomorrow depends on the choices you are making with your hours today. When I was rejected from so many jobs, KFC, hotels, even the police, I had plenty of reasons to sit and complain. I could have chosen to waste my time feeling sorry for myself, blaming the system or blaming other people, but I realized if I spend my time blaming, nothing changes. The only thing I can control is how I use my hours. So instead of drowning in self-pity, I use my time to practice English with tourists in Hangzhou, to read books, to think about ideas. That choice did not give me instant success, but it planted seeds that grew years later into opportunities. The truth is, time is like water flowing through your hands. You cannot stop it, but you can choose where to guide it. If you guide it into a swamp of negativity, your life will be filled with mud. If you guide it into a field of action, your life will bloom with results. This is why I always tell young people, don't complain about your situation, complain about how you spend your time, because your time choices decide your situation, not the other way around. Think carefully. When you choose to spend an hour watching people live their dreams on a screen, you are losing an hour you could have spent building your own dream. When you choose to spend a day doubting yourself, you are losing a day you could have spent trying, failing, and learning. Life doesn't ask whether you want to spend your time. It forces you to. The only question is whether you spend it by design or by default. In the end, the power of time lies in your hands, not in your circumstances. The people who change the world are not the ones with the most talent or the most luck. They are the ones who consistently choose to spend their time on things that matter, even when it is hard, even when it looks impossible. Your future is nothing more than the sum of your daily choices, and those choices are made minute by minute in how you. Lessons from mistakes and failures are often the most valuable returns on the time we spend. When we succeed, we celebrate, but we rarely stop to think deeply about why we succeeded. But when we fail, we are forced to reflect, to examine every detail, to ask ourselves what went wrong. That process of reflection turns wasted hours into wisdom, and wisdom is something no one can take away from you. In my own life, failure has been a constant teacher. I failed exams many times. I was rejected from jobs more times than I can count. Even when we started Alibaba, for years we had no profit. People laughed at us, investors turned us away, and competitors tried to crush us. If I had measured those years only in money, they would look like wasted time. But in reality, those were the years that shaped us. We learned how to work as a team, how to build trust with customers, how to survive when nobody believed in us. Every mistake gave us new knowledge, and every setback gave us new strength. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Many young people tell me they are afraid to waste time on something that might fail. I tell them, wasting time is not failing. Refusing to try is failing. If you spend 3 years chasing a dream and it does not work, you still gain 3 years of experience, courage, and lessons. But if you spend 3 years hesitating, doubting, and doing nothing, you lose both the time and the chance to grow. Think about it. Children fall hundreds of times before they learn to walk, but no parent says, "My child has failed too many times, let him crawl forever." We understand that falling is part of walking. In the same way, failure is part of building a life. The hours you spend struggling, falling, and getting back up are not wasted. They are training your future self. So when you fail, don't throw away the time you spent. Ask yourself, what did I learn? How can I do better next time? If you take the lesson, then the time is not lost. It has been converted into experience, and experience compounds like interest in a bank. The more you fail and learn, the richer you become in wisdom. And one day, when opportunity comes, that wealth of wisdom will pay you back more than any. Investing time in people and purpose creates the kind of wealth that money can never measure. When I look back at my journey, the moments I treasure most are not the deals closed or the profits made, but the hours spent with people who believed in a shared dream. Time invested in relationships builds a foundation that no crisis can easily shake. A company can lose money and recover, but if it loses trust, if it loses its people, it will collapse. That is why I always say, invest your time in people before you invest it in business. In the early days of Alibaba, we had no money, no technology, no powerful connections. What we had was each other. I spent countless nights with my team in a small apartment, eating simple meals, talking about our dreams, encouraging one another when things looked impossible. If I had spent those hours chasing investors instead of building trust with my team, Alibaba would not exist today. Because money will leave you when times are hard, but people who share your purpose will stand beside you. Purpose is the second great investment of time. If you spend your days working only for a paycheck, you may survive, but you will not thrive. The hours will feel heavy, and the years will feel wasted. But if you spend your time working for something bigger than yourself, whether it is improving education, protecting the environment, creating opportunities for others, your energy multiplies. Time given to a meaningful purpose is never lost. It grows into a legacy. Think about the difference. 2 people can spend the same 8 hours at work. One spends it only following orders, counting the minutes until the day ends. The other spends it thinking, how can I use this time to make something better, to help someone, to move closer to a vision I care about? At the end of the day, both are equally tired, but one has invested in a future, and the other has only survived another day. Your time is like capital. You can waste it on things that give no return, or you can invest it in people and purposes that create impact for decades. If you spend time building trust, kindness, and shared vision, those hours will echo in the lives of many others. And when you are older, you will realize the richest moments of your life are not the hours you spent chasing money, but the hours you gave to people and purposes that made the world. A call to action: spend time with courage, not comfort. This is the choice that separates those who live an ordinary life from those who live an extraordinary one. Comfort feels safe, it feels warm, it feels easy, but comfort is a silent thief. It steals your potential without making noise. You wake up one day and realize years have passed, and though you were comfortable, you built nothing, learned nothing, achieved nothing that made your heart proud. Courage, on the other hand, is uncomfortable, uncertain, sometimes even painful, but it is the path where growth happens, where change begins, where history is made. I still remember the first time I spoke in front of a group of foreigners to practice my English. My accent was terrible, my words were broken, and people laughed. It would have been comfortable to stay silent, but I chose courage. That one choice changed the direction of my life. Later, when we started Alibaba, everyone said we were foolish. China was poor, the internet was weak, and nobody believed a group of teachers could build a global company. It would have been comfortable to give up, to take a safe job, to avoid the risk. But we chose courage, and that choice built everything that came after. The truth is, every opportunity hides behind fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of what people will say. If you let fear decide how you spend your time, you will always choose comfort. But if you let courage decide, you will spend your hours chasing dreams, starting projects, meeting people, and learning skills that may not pay off today, but will transform your tomorrow. Think of your time as bricks. Comfort will build you a small hut that shields you from the wind, but courage will build you a castle that inspires generations. Each hour of courage may feel hard in the moment. Studying when you want to rest, speaking when you want to stay silent, trying again when you want to quit. But those are the bricks of greatness. So when the day ends and you look back, ask yourself, did I spend my hours in comfort or in courage? Because one path leads to regret, and the other leads to pride. The extraordinary life is not built in one grand moment, but in the daily, quiet decision to spend time on courage instead of comfort.